Hi, my name's Ingemar Hunnings, and I'm head of the Hunnings Management Consultancy, which is, amongst other things, helping people with their journey through the SQE qualification route. So today I just wanted to record a video for people from Switzerland who wanted to qualify as solicitors through the SQE route. It's a little bit more complicated for people from Switzerland, and I've spent some time investigating that and liaising with the SRA to try and get some clarity because it is not clear. And it is of particular relevance at this point in time, so I've been told by people in Switzerland, because under your system, you qualify and are able to practice in law to a degree just by passing your degree and a bachelor, I think it's a bachelor's and then a master's. But that doesn't enable you to practice in the courts, prosecutions, notary services, and things like that. For that, you have to do a further exam, 12 months of internship, and then you qualify as an Advokat, Rechtsanwalt, please forgive my pronunciation, Anwalt, Fürsprecher, Fürsprech, or Avocato. They're all the same thing, as I understand it, just different names for different cantons. But you have to, that's the full qualification by going through that route. Now, there's a particular issue at the moment because on the 1st of January 2025, the Swiss government brought in a law which allows Swiss companies legal privilege for the advice from their legal counsel, their in-house legal counsel, if the legal counsel is qualified to that level of the advocate, not to if they're only qualified to the level of having passed their bachelor's and master's. So that means that there's a number of people who have been legal counsel but cannot now progress to be general counsel or head of legal unless they get to that level of qualification. And as I understand it, the exams are very difficult. I've heard various other descriptions of them seeming to wish to restrict access. However, there is an agreement of recognition of qualifications that came into effect also on the 1st of January 2025 between the UK and Switzerland. And it seems to be a more predictable route, let's say, to qualify as a solicitor of England and Wales, and that qualification will be cross-recognized by the Swiss authorities as the level of an advocate, etc. So that's a route to get you through that barrier that has been placed in your way. Okay, so direct applicable relevance at the moment. Let me do some unpacking now to help you through this route. Okay. If you want to qualify, you've got to have a degree, or this is a qualify as a solicitor of England and Wales through the SQE route. Then you need to have 4 elements. So you need to satisfy the fact that you have a degree or degree equivalent, and that can be checked through the methods for the SRA. There's stuff on their website, which you can follow through for that. You have to pass the exams unless you can get exempted from them, the SQE1 and the SQE2 exams. You have to have, unless you're exempted from it, 2 years full-time equivalent qualifying work experience confirmed to the SRA by an SRA-regulated solicitor. And then you need to have the usual criminal records checks, character checks, etc. All right. So the character checks are things at the end I'm not going to talk any more about. That's the same for everyone. The exams you will have had anyway, so that's fine. That's the same for everyone. Now, sorry, when I say the exams and the degree, that sort of thing. SQE1 and SQE2, 2 separate exams. You can't sit the SQE2 until you pass the SQE1. Can you get exemption from the SQE1? Only really in reality if you happen to have sat the LPC, the old route for qualifying, and have passed that, and then choose to change route and trade in effectively your LPC pass against an SQE1 exemption. So that puts that to one side. Only those people who are already qualified as lawyers, and for the SRA, that means to the level of advocate, only those people who are Swiss fully qualified lawyers can apply for an exemption from the SQE2, but they can. And this is where it gets more complicated for the Swiss than anyone else, because you have two additional routes to getting exemption from the SQE2 than what's there for everyone else. So you have the first two, which are available to everyone, and the same for you. So first route, of course, sit and pass SQE1 and the SQE2. Okay. The second route is that you can sit one and get exemption from the other. I've talked about getting exemption from the SQE1. Applying for the exemption, an individual exemption from the SQE2 is the same as for any other jurisdiction. The SRA says that because you would have had 12 months already proved by your qualification as an advocate, etc., then you only need to prove to them 12 months post-qualification legal work experience. And that you do through the submission together with the application form and the SRA fee. You would need to submit a reference letter, which would be signed by the person who directly supervised your legal work experience over that 12-month period. And if the 12-month period was split in the sense that you spent some time in one company and some in another, you would need a letter of reference from each of those supervisors. There are also technical aspects that need to be included in the letters. And there is, if I share my screen, we have a page on our website which gives further guidance and assistance on that, all of the information you need for free. But we do also help for a fee with people, giving them a simple template and then reviewing your draft letter, because you'll probably draft it for your supervisor before you ask them to sign it. And we'll check through that. We'll check through the rest of the elements, and indeed the draft application form itself are correct and remind you what you need to do. So we'll help you with that, but it's all there for free. Okay. So that's the normal route that everyone has. Then there are the two additional ones that Swiss lawyers get. By the way, the second route that I just explained, getting the exemption from the SQE2, unhelpfully, the SRA have called it the aptitude test, which confuses everyone. It's only called that with regard to Swiss lawyers. For everyone else, it's just the way of applying for an exemption from the SQE2 exam. So if you're confused by that description, that's what it means. It's the same as everyone else applying for exemption from the SQE2. In addition, for Swiss lawyers, you have the adaptation period route, and this is something just for you. So if you do not have 24 months legal work experience and want to do 3 years supervised practice instead, this you can do. This route is additional just for Swiss qualified lawyers. In order to qualify for this route, you must register with the SRA as a Swiss registered lawyer and undertake 3 years supervised practice in the law of England and Wales. Okay. There's also the registered foreign lawyer REL route. This route, again, is an additional one just for Swiss lawyers, and the option is only available to existing registered European lawyers who were already registered on or before the 31st of December 2024, or those whose application was in and was being considered, but they may become registered after that date. And there's more information about both of those routes on the SRA website, but I'm trying to provide some clarity here, because you look at what's just on the SRA website and you go around in circles. So there are those 4 alternative ways. The first 2 are the same as for anyone else, with the particular circumstances that apply for Swiss qualified, fully qualified lawyers. And then there are those 2 additional routes. I don't know if they flowed from the agreement between the UK and the Swiss government that came into effect at the beginning of 2025 to recognize each other's qualifications, but it sounds like it. Now then, if you are not fully qualified, you have to still get the QWE period confirmed. If you are fully qualified as a Swiss advocate, you're exempt automatically from the QWE confirmation requirement. But if you're not one of those, you're just an ordinary person, a paralegal, or indeed just have passed your exam, your bachelor's and master's but no further, then you have to have a minimum of 2 years full-time equivalent qualifying work experience confirmed to the SRA by an SRA-regulated solicitor, or it could be a COLP if you're working in an SRA-regulated law firm, which is unlikely, but there you go. Now, the work that you do needs to be the provision of legal services, and it does not have to be done in an English law firm. It does not have to be done in England and Wales. It does not have to be done in English and Welsh law. You can reach back in time as far as you want, and you can also use an external solicitor or the QWE confirmation. Okay, so this is a service that we provide as well. And again, I'm going to share my screen just to show you this here, the page on our website about that service. We have helped, at the time of recording this, which is in the summer of 2025, over 150 people from all over the world through this external QWE confirmation service. Of course, if you already have a solicitor in your organization, you won't need us, but we're here as a help of last resort so that you can progress with your career. Right. I hope that has been of some help to you. Specifically, Swiss lawyers, you have this slightly more complicated situation. If you're working in-house as in-house counsel, you may find that your career progression is blocked unless you do either you fully qualify as an advocate, etc. But people have been telling me that they have the route through qualification as a solicitor of England and Wales, which might be preferable for them. So I take it as they say it, and here's the help. Now, if you do need help from us, then please just give us a shout, and you can fill in the form on our website or email me at ingemar@hunningsconsultancy.co.uk. You'll find the information below the video in the notes as well. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you think this is helpful, because that's going to help project the video out to other people and to let other people know. We do have many videos about this on our YouTube channel. Again, I'm just going to share to let you see that. All right, lots of stuff there. The pink ones are about the SQE and QWE, and we're also on TikTok and Red Note now as well. So I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Goodbye.